Welcome back everyone to our Calculus 3 class notes. We're still in chapter 14 on partial derivatives and we're now in section 14.8 where we're going to learn about Lagrange multipliers. So constrained maxima and minima. Sometimes we need to find the extreme values of a function whose domain is constrained to lie within some particular subset of the plane. For example, a disk, a closed triangular region, or along a curve. We actually saw an instance of this in example 68, which was the last example from the last section. Now we introduce a more powerful method, the method of Lagrange multipliers. All right, so in this example 69, I'm going to try to give you some insight when a constrained minimum can be found by just eliminating a variable. Okay, so this is not the method of Lagrange multipliers yet. I will show you in a little bit in the next example that how this method does not always work. It works in this case, but it doesn't always work, and that's why we want to understand the method of Lagrange multipliers. So we want to find the point P, coordinates x, y, z, on the plane 2x plus y minus z equals 5, or minus 5 equals 0, that is closest to the origin. So the solution, we want to find the minimum value of the function. So we want a point x, y, z that is closest to the origin. So what's the distance to the origin? Well, we use the distance formula from the origin to the point. So it's square root of x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared plus z minus 0 squared, or just the square root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared. So we want to find the minimum value of this function subject to the constraint 2x plus y minus z minus 5 equals 0. So that puts the points that we're looking for on the plane, and then we want to minimize the distance function. Now, one thing that happens when we want to minimize distances, it's often notice that this function, which is really a vector, the length of a vector, has a minimum value where if I just drop the square root, everything will be a lot easier to compute. So f of x, y, z equals x squared plus y squared plus z squared is minimized. So I don't need to actually have that square root there. Because if I'm going to minimize that function, it's the same thing as minimizing this function subject to the same constraint. Okay, so now, regarding x and y as the independent variables, I'm going to rewrite the plane as z equals 2x plus y minus 5. So that means this function f of x, y, I'm going to plug in z equals 2x plus y minus 5. So I want to find the minimum of h of x, y, which is f of x, y, and z, but z is 2x plus y minus 5. I'm forcing the points to be on that plane. So that's x squared plus y squared plus 2x plus y minus 5 squared. So now I don't have to worry about the constraint. I forced it in by doing this, by putting it in here as a change of variable. So now I can look at the domain of this h, which is the entire xy plane, has no boundary points, and I can go back to finding the local extrema using the first and second derivative test. So I take the first partial with respect to x, and I set that equal to 0. Then I get an equation 10x plus 4y equals 20. Take the first partial with respect to y, set that equal to 0. I get 4x plus 4y equals 10. So I get a system of two equations with two unknowns. Solve that in multiple ways to solve it. And I found that x equals 5/3 and y equals 5/6. So the point 5/3, 5/6 is the only point where an extrema can occur. So now I have to take the second derivative, do the second derivative test. So h of xx, or the second partial of h with respect to x, is just 10. So 10 is positive. That means I have a concave up function. So that means that I'm probably going to have a local minimum, but I need to check my discriminant because I need to know it's concave up in every direction. So the discriminant, remember, is this guy, h of xx times h of yy, so 10 times 4. So I had to do h of yy, which is 4. And then h of xy is 4 also. So I get 40 minus 16 is 24. That is indeed positive. So since the discriminant is positive, I know it's concave up everywhere. That means the point 5/3, 5/6 provides a minimum value of h of xy. So what's the z coordinate on the plane then? So z is 2x plus y minus 5. I plug in x equals 5/3, y equals 5/6. And I get z is minus 5/6. So the closest point on the plane to the origin is xyz, which is 5/3, 5/6 minus 5/6. And its distance from the origin, if you were interested, is actually figure out the distance now. It's 5 over root 6, which is approximately 2.04. So I said it earlier, but note that this substitution method does not always go so smoothly, and I'm going to look at an example now where it does not work, and I'll try to explain to you why it doesn't work.